Becky, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here, and thanks for taking time in what I'm sure is a very busy last few weeks of school.
Yes, it is. There are always things going on, and you're wrapping up the year and planning for a new year. We have a couple of big events coming up. We do a Maymaster Symposium, which is at the end of May, and it's a big, huge event that is featuring all of our students' work. They get to highlight, and it'll be all different types of projects, but we're also doing a ribbon cutting, an official ribbon cutting on our edition, the Hive of Creativity and Innovation. So it'll be the first time the community gets to come in and see that. So we're planning that and lots of different things. So
nice. Well, I'm anxious to see that. I was at Jackson Crossing last night, and I saw the work of your students and the art show.
Yes.
You've got some talented kids.
We really do. I always brag about our kids because they are just incredible. What Mr. Cooling is able to do with those kids and the amount of growth they have is just so impressive. I mean, I didn't count all of the first place and second place ribbons there, but we may have the most. So it's so fun, and we have so many kids in the program, and he teaches it really unique. Like, we don't have art 1, 2, 3, 4. We have art. And then in that art section, all 6 hours that he teaches a day, it's leveled. So you may be an Art 1 student, but you're in the same classroom with an Art 4 student. And so it's so cool because the older kids will look at the younger kids who are trying to figure it out, and they'll say, oh no, Mr. Cooling's not going to take that. You're going to want to try that again. So it's just so fun. They push each other and grow together and celebrate each other. And the art show is just kind of the culmination of that. So
I was surprised when you looked at because you had to look close to see who the student was and what grade level they were. Mm-hmm. You could not tell. I mean, there were works of unbelievable art by kindergartners that outshone some 5th and 6th graders. So really vice versa. I mean, you couldn't tell, but some very, very talented artists at Concord.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of talents. I think one of the things I was impressed with, I was at Concord schools a few times this past winter, and there's a new energy, and I don't know if it's because the success your basketball and winter sports were having, but that's got to bleed into the overall school spirit.
Yeah, it is. It's palpable, the energy in the buildings and in the district right now. It's a lot of fun across the board from preschool all the way up. Definitely helped by the success of our sports teams. The boys won the basketball district title for the first time since, I think, 2012. And then the girls won the district title again, and then won regionals and went to Breslin. And it's so much fun to watch them play because we do have a lot of great athletes, but they're really good kids. Their sportsmanship is just on the same level and par as their athleticism. So it just makes it joyous to watch, really. You can't help but watch them and not burst with pride. So it's definitely contagious.
And the contagion spreads to the middle school and the elementary. Mm-hmm. There's obviously sports programs over there that I think are modeled after the high school.
Yes. We're very fortunate. We have some of the best, most award-winning coaches in our track and cross-country programs. I can't even tell you how many track regionals that Mike Jurasek and Dan Davis have won. It's insane. But then they're mentoring our middle school track teams and cross programs. And our middle school track teams right now are literally blowing up the record boards. We have a group of 8th grade, mostly 8th grade. Layla's a 7th grader, but they just took down the 1,600 meter relay record.
Wow.
We have this group of gentlemen who, Jacaden is a force to watch. He is a 6th grader, and I don't know that I've ever seen somebody run that fast and not even look like he's trying. He's very, very talented young man, but he's surrounded by Luke and Carson and Josiah, so they took down the 400 meter relay and the 800 meter relay record. And then Carson Frazier is also an incredibly impressive talent, and he himself has taken down the long jump, the 200 meter, and the 400 meter middle school record. So we're going to have, by the end of this track season, last year, Annie Sines, who's now a freshman, she took down the high jump record. And since then, it's just a cascade of, I mean, we're going to have a whole new record board by the end of the spring season at the middle school for sure. So obviously, most of those kids are 8th graders, with the exception of 2. So the future is very bright, and we already have a super competitive track team this season, both boys and girls. So also a lot of fun to watch right now.
Yeah, and when those kids get into high school, I'll be hearing a lot more about your track and running programs for years.
Yes. For the next 5 years, this year and the next 4, really and truly, it'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, well, way to go, kids. Nice job. And there's more to come. They could set more records, right?
I think they're just going to keep breaking their records over and over again.
And the middle school doesn't get the opportunity that the high school does in terms of the number of track meets and the all that goes into it. It's a lot to put a track meet on for middle school.
It is, and they've worked really hard. Thankfully, we have great mentors to that middle school team, Brian Peoples and Charlene Pyle. So they work real hard. It's a whole community event. We had a whole middle school meet last night, and the high school kids are there. Jurisac's there. Everybody's there to help support, and it ends up being a really beautiful event with pretty good weather last night too. So it's helpful.
A little windy.
Just a little.
So you had another big event this past week or so. Did you have some sort of...
So we had our preschool program. We have 2 GSRP classrooms and a tuition program. They were, I'm not sure raising is the right word, but they were fostering eggs that hatched into chicks. And so they had a big, huge, chick hatching watch party, and finally they hatched yesterday. And so it was a huge party and celebration. They had the baby chicks, they had chick cupcakes, they were outside doing chick events, and so it was a lot of fun. Our preschool program right now is enrolling both different programs, our GSRP, which is free to all families now, and then our tuition program, which is a pretty not low rate there too. A lot of great experiences that these kids are having. Kim Brooks is the director this year, and she is just growing. Our classrooms are full. They're doing incredible activities, and then she's leading our summer program too. So really, we're enrolling for all 3 spaces.
And still registration for K and pre-K.
Yes. Yep. We have a junior jackets, which is like young 5s, and then we have kindergarten. So that kindergarten roundup just happened last week, actually. I think they had those kids going through, and it's so cute to watch them, go through their little assessments and meet the teachers and parents. You definitely can tell parents who are the first time parents, and then the parents who, it's kid number 3, you just get seasoned, but it's still so joyful to have young jackets in the hallway. So
look at those kids' faces. It's just it brings a smile just looking at them.
Yeah, they're so adorable.
Speaking of kids' faces, how many kids' faces will we have in the window at the Salesman downtown Concord this year?
That's a great question. I think we're going to have about 50 this year.
Okay.
So yeah, we're really excited. That'll be turning over here pretty quick. Our senior awards, May 14th. The last day is May 15th. Graduation is that Sunday. It's like the 18th, I think. So that's right around the corner. Just had prom, and so yeah, about 50 I think will go across the stage this year.
Awesome.
But yeah, it is really fun. This group of kids, they were 4th graders when I became an administrator. I was a K principal before I became superintendent. So to have watched them grown up and see them now all across the stage, they each have just such beautiful stories of what they've gone through and how they've grown, and it's so fun to be able to celebrate them this time of year.
So these are your kids.
I look at them all that way, yes. Yes. The 8th graders, they were kindergartners my first year. And so there's a good pocket of windows from their 8th grade students down to, 4th or 5th grade that I was their principal, and then up. And when my tenure there, and yeah, I do. It's so fun. I know all their names. I get hugs when I get in the hallway, not from the high schoolers, but the little kids, and a lot of fist bumps, and it's just fun.
Did you get a promposal?
I did not get a promposal. My son is actually a junior, and he didn't even go to prom. But he's in the orchestra, so they had the JYSO and the JSO had their side by side, and he played in that Saturday night. So no promposal. I didn't even get a prom pick. Maybe next year. I have my fingers crossed.
Well, you can do your own in the backyard. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We fixed the phone so it wouldn't ring.
Say this every day.
Maybe that's just lasts for 24 hours. Well, sorry about the disruption, but thanks. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
Yeah, and congratulations to the Concord class of 2025. The superintendent of Concord Community Schools, Becky Hutchinson.